please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Boy, first. Yeah, I hear.
Kochi,
Here.
Spinks,
Here.
Janutus,
Here.
Fluharty,
Here.
Asbury.
Here.
Oh, we have no, the minutes were completed, so we cannot vote on those tonight. We have no old business. First time in a long time. That's good. And reports, but before we get to reports, I just want to officially give condolences to Don Saunders on the passing of his dad. Dan was a good guy. I knew him a long time. He was, must be, besides being a good old baseball player, he was amazing, but
Yeah.
our condolences on your loss.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple brief items, a couple events to announce. We are having our annual Arbor Day planting, which will take place on the Commons on April 29th at 10 a.m. And we also have, for the children and through our Parks and Recreation Department, our Easter egg hunt, which will be taking place on April 9th, later this week. For all those that interested, you can sign up and attend for that. Visit the Parks and Recreation Department. We were successful in obtaining a grant through Cuyahoga County for preventative maintenance work. We identified crack sealing and repairs that will need to take place on Solon Road and Egbert Road. Obviously, Solon Road is continuing to deteriorate. This is a county road, and we're having a conversation with the county regarding the condition of this road in the coming weeks. Similar to, that's no guarantee, but we need to, about a week and a half ago, our Service and Public Works Department did a street-by-street assessment, which they do every spring, to determine our road program. Obviously, we're not in a position to do Solon Road. The county would need to address that, but we did take, obviously notes, photos, assess that, and we're going to be sharing the findings of that assessment to the county. But regarding minimal preventative maintenance, like I had indicated, the grant was about $13,000, and it is for Egbert and Solon. I'll get into the Broadway one later on the agenda. That's end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Law Director.
I can just say hello to everyone. Don, I'd like to extend my condolences too. Sorry for your loss. And good to have you back.
Finance Director.
Again, condolences Don to your father. He's a great guy, really a lot of fun being with him over the years. Tax filing due dates, April 18th this year. We got a couple extra days because of the weekend, so make sure you have all your returns in by then. We've done a really great job of turning around everything that we've had processed through our hands at this point, but we're getting a little close to the due date at this point. We will not be open this year due to the COVID still, but please have those in on time. We want to welcome also our coming next week, our new Assistant Finance Director will be joining us, Allison Chance. Had many years as the Finance Director and Assistant Finance Director for the City of Bedford Heights next door. She will be joining us and welcoming addition to Jennifer in the future, as she'll be our Finance Director and Allison will be our Assistant. So I look forward to greeting her coming next week already. So time's flying fast. That's the end of my report.
That's it?
That's it. I could go on, but that's it.
Councilman Saunders.
First, I want to thank everybody, all the residents and non-residents, and it's amazing all over the country. We got several hundred condolences from everywhere, primarily from the Bedford area though. My father was involved in everything, it seems like, especially when it came to sports. Vic, were you at the funeral home, or no, at the mass when my sister brought up the mantles? We played baseball together way back when, but anyway, my father did get quite a, I would just say, showing of sympathy and support for the family too. A lot of people probably don't realize that he worked for the city of Bedford for almost 15 years too, in the finance department. He was actually acting finance director. I can't remember if it was once or twice, because it was during that transition when not too many people have stayed in their positions here in the city, because the city was flat broke. But we've come a long way since that time. But he did work in the tax department basically from the time we broke from Rita. So he was involved, and it's another one of those, I would just say, icons in Bedford that is now gone again. So we're losing them very quickly here, especially in this last 6 months, it seems like. So I do want to thank everybody for their condolences. I was surprised at the large number of people even that attended the funeral home. Chuck St. John said there was over 250 people that showed up, so that's quite a showing. So thank you very much. Now, down to city business. Is there any movement on our house on Columbus Road? I won't give out the address.
I believe they were issued a citation, but I don't have that court date yet.
Because the building department should be on that house. The police have been there numerous times.
Building has been out there, and
Because
that's why I
there's windows
believe,
knocked out and boarded up and all kinds of mess over
I believe it was cited.
there. Okay,
I don't have a court date, I'd have to check on that, but I can confirm that in the morning.
well, we have to stay on top of that because the neighborhood is up in arms big time with that place. And of course, the other thing is, do we have a timetable of when they're gonna open Logan again? Last time I stopped in, they were finding more stuff down there than they ever wanted to. So, but, I know it's one heck of a mess over there.
Yeah, I don't have a timeline on the road opening. Hopefully at staff I'll have a better idea.
Do you know if they're gonna have to go through the sewer from Logan all the way to Garden?
I don't believe so.
It's not plugged or anything, because I know shepherds who are out of town, they have to sandbag that whole area because the water comes through Muty's yard pretty well, and but the pipes aren't capable of handling what's there. So, which is the same problem we had on Garden when that collapsed a little over a year ago too. So, and it's the same problem that goes all the way down to Elm and out to Columbus. It's all the same stream. So, it's one of those things that just seems to be stretching out. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening, everybody. We received, the mayor received this, but we received this in our packet. And it's from the school, and it says we only have one earth, one community, let's take care of it. So the Bedford City School District is going to do a Community Earth Day Challenge. This is also, this I believe is on our Park and Recreation. They posted it. I know I posted it. I think Jeff, you posted it on the Garden Club side, and I posted it on the senior side. But it's pretty neat because you take a photo of yourself doing something to beautify our community between April the 20th and April the 22nd. And you email it to social media at bedfordschools.org. Include your name, school, company, organization. Make it a family, group, or company activity. Your photo may be featured in the Bedford School District social media of the district or the district website. They've been, I'm so excited about, because everybody knows how I get out and pick up trash and have to encourage the kids and everybody else to do it. And it's, we have more and more people that are out helping doing that. But the schools, I mean, Haskett, they did a whole thing where their whole school got out and picked up trash. We've got to teach our kids what they're doing to our earth. They don't realize, they think, well, if they throw a mask down or they throw a bottle down, it's not that big deal. They don't realize what they're doing to our earth. So I'm just so excited that the school, that all of our school, and it's from, it's all the schools. It's Central all the way to the high school. And so that's pretty cool. So if you're out and you get out and you pick up trash, send a picture. It's pretty cool. So that's excited about that. Talking about picking up trash, I've seen more and more people out doing it, picking it up, and that's good. We still got a long way to go on picking it up. It's crazy. It's just a daily thing, but it's not just here in Bedford. It's everywhere. Constantly, I know there's something that did pass through the governor's thing about the styrofoam containers to restaurants. I know that out parts of Cuyahoga County has made it for some of the shopping. Like I know that Hobby Lobby, they don't have bags. You can buy bags, but they're not giving plastic bags anymore. So people don't realize what those little bitty stuff. I know Texas and Louisiana, you go into a store, you gotta take your own bag or whatever. And they've got that don't mess with Texas, don't mess with Louisiana on the litter thing, because it just looks so bad. It just looks really bad. So thank you everybody that does their part. I know Wally's been going out and doing his part, and how he's gonna do this challenge. Mike, are we going to, of course, with the weather, and of course, when the weather was bad, it was still there, the speeding and the disregards of stop signs. It means nothing to a lot of people. And it's not just my street, it's all over Bedford. Again, it's like the trash. Yeah. I sat there, of course, when I am home, I sat in my window, and it's like some people don't even attempt to stop at the stop sign. I don't know, I've asked for a couple of years, I don't know if it would do any good. If we could, there's the white stripe, of course, with the winter and stuff, and the snow plows has faded. Could we possibly paint stop, like the big, I've seen it in some other cities and stuff. I don't know that we have it around here. That would be an inexpensive thing. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna work, but it would be, I really particularly don't want a flashing light in front of my bedroom window. I know some cities do that on flashing stop signs, and I know Helen Briggs told me she didn't want one up at hers either. But there's literally people, we were watching it, Bob, of course, my husband works from home, so he sees it all day long. When people do stop, people come flying by them. There's someone, when people do stop at the stop signs, and I saw this happened on Greencroft. I literally stopped, and someone passed me at the stop sign. It's just no regards to anybody, and this is what, 2-3 times that we've had the incident that happened Saturday at the Honda, where they literally ran into some parked cars at the Honda place and took out a big pole. I mean, thank God nobody was hurt, but they could have been. It's just like the speeding. I know we have the speed sign that's on Broadway. And what people don't understand too, sometimes they think that thing's off. Well, it's still recording. Even if it's not flashing, it's still recording. So if you don't see that. But could we still get it? It's just in the last couple of days, Willard, Greencroft, Grand is just, and I even know Archer. And that's crazy. I mean, that's really crazy. But the speeding has had, I know some of it I discussed with you earlier. They are testing their cars again, and they love to stop. When they do stop at the stop sign, the only reason they're stopping at the stop sign so then they can take off as fast as they possibly can from the stop sign. So that's a little bit of a problem. It's dangerous. Our kids are going to be getting out of school. Our kids, we have a lot of people that walk their dogs and stuff, and we got to send a message that it's not okay. End of report.
Mr. Janutus.
Well, thank you. I just want to say, it's really not a bad idea to just get something in your head for Earth Day, to do a little bit of something, whatever it may be, clean up trash or whatever. I think it'd be a wonderful thing to popular in our society. No report, end report, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty?
Yeah, that's what Sandy was saying with the speeding, Mike. It's that time of year again. It springs in the air, and I can hear them going up down the street. I don't even get up and look anymore. I can hear them. That's how fast they're going. So it's like she said, it's everywhere. I know we go through this every year, but I like to catch some of these guys because they sure don't slow down in the neighborhoods. But other than that, like I said, it just needs to be taken care of. And the chipper service is out now. People need something for May, get on the list for May. Right now, I think a lot of people didn't get on because it was early April. Of course, we haven't been out in the weather, to be out to get your yard picked up, so next month should be pretty busy. We were talking about that earlier. So you gotta call in, so if you need to get on the first week of the month for a chipper service. And also, happy Easter, everybody. We'll be back till after Easter. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Asbury?
Thank you, Mayor. Don, condolences to your father. I attended the viewing down at St. John's. It was really cool how they had the jerseys set over the chairs, all the jerseys throughout the years. Well, that was only a small fraction. Oh, I'm sure it was, but that was a pretty neat idea. A couple things out of our city newsletter that comes in, the water bill every month. Starting April 18th to the 22nd and the 25th to the 29th is the computer/household hazardous waste roundup. Visit our website, bedfordoh.gov, for all the details on that. Start getting your things together. Also out of the newsletter, the Bedford Community Garden. It sounds like they still have some plots available. So if anybody's interested, it's behind Central School. Pretty decent sized plots. I checked it out a couple years ago, but I figured out that I just didn't have enough energy to go plant a garden that size. So we just do a couple plants in the summer. So if you're interested, check that out. Actually, there's a phone number. You can contact Lisa Wiggins, 216-548-1175. I'd like to mention that Bedford Downtown Alliance Chocolate Walk, the 4th annual Chocolate Walk, will take place May 14th. Tickets go on sale this Friday morning, the 8th. That's all I was supposed to say about that, but I'm going to tell you there are some pretty good prizes this year. So those of you that have been to the event in the past, you know what to expect. It's going to be really good this year, so get your tickets starting Friday morning. Mike, Wi-Fi in the square, how's that going?
I don't know, only because I was out.
You were on
so
vacation.
I was out, but I'll know first thing tomorrow morning at staff, and I'll get that out.
Sounds good. The other thing, we've had several residents express concerns about some garbage cans, see if we can get some more located throughout the city. We're still looking into that.
Yes.
All right, end of report, thank you.
Thank you. Before we move on, I want to congratulate our finance department on receiving their GFOA award for this year. So that would be number what?
31 with the city. We had already consecutive years getting the national award. Less than 5% of the entities of state, local, county, government, schools, you name it, anything under the federal level can apply for these awards for their entities. Less than 5%, like I said, get the award. We've not only received the award 31 consecutive times, I've had 3 prior to that, so it's 34 for me. But it's definitely hard to do. It's a lot of education that we have to go through constantly and update, and very proud of that. Not only did we do that, but we had a couple years in the last 5 that were perfect awards and perfect reports. So very hard to obtain, to do that kind of work and that quality of work for that long a period. And thanks to Jennifer and my staff, we've done a great job over the years. And thank you, Mayor, for acknowledging that. And I thank council for all their allowing us to proceed with that year after year and get that acknowledgement. Thanks again.
You didn't let me finish. First, I want to read this from the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. Has awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the City of Bedford for its annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2020. Report has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and motivate potential users and user groups to read the report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of government accounting and finance reporting. It is an attainment, this attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. Thank you guys very much. When the award comes in, we'll do another presentation. So.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
taking all those awards with you, or?
No, they stay here.
His office is, we got a blind along the ceiling. So, I think that's good. And with that, I think we can move along with business. Although I was gonna mention about this, but somebody else did. So. But anyhow, I would like to see as many people in the city taking a picture, doing, planting flowers, whatever you, washing your car, I don't care what it's, making Bedford beautiful. I think that would be a great thing, just to flood the school with all these pictures. So. All right, ordinance number 9959-22.
Authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into a contract with Fabrizi Trucking and Paving Company, being the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, and declaring an emergency concerning the Broadway Avenue Waterline Improvements Project.
I have a motion for suspension. Asbury, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
A motion for third and final by Spinks, second by Janutus. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the project that we've been talking about for close to a year now. We held our bid opening on Friday, March 25th for the Broadway Waterline project, which also includes electrical repairs, curb replacements, as well as some miscellaneous sewer repairs. We did receive two bids, the lowest being Fabrizi Trucking and Paving, which came in at $1.298 and change. And then the second bid was over $1.4 million. The Fabrizi number came in within about $112,000 to our engineer's estimate. One of the things that we did experience, this number is slightly higher, and it's due to the fact that we are requiring evening work. They're going to have to close Broadway, and obviously that's something that's not possible during the day. We understand that. This project is going to take place from 5 Points near Broadway and Columbus and run all the way to roughly the Wheeling Lake Erie rail line that crosses over just past the Pompeys as you're approaching Union Street. So closing that stretch through regular business hours was just not an option. I mean, it would be very detrimental, especially to the downtown businesses. So we were requiring evening work hours. Those evening hours, and obviously there'll be more information that'll come out once we hold a pre-construction meeting with the contractor once, if it is awarded. But estimated timeline for the work would be starting at 10 p.m. in the evening, and then the road would have to be reopened by 6 a.m. Obviously, there'll be plates across because they have to cross-cut Broadway. Project in total is, they believe they can have it completed in 90 days. I always like to add 30 days onto that, just because things always happen, and if it finishes before 90, great. But I don't see it taking longer than the 120. One of the things that I do want to add, Fabrizi is a very reputable company. They've done work in the city on numerous projects. The most recent project they did do was the water line replacement on Union Street a few years ago. Our recommendation is to move forward with this. Once awarded, obviously we'll be looking at a pre-construction meeting with the company where we'll get more information as far as detour routes. Our police and fire will have input on that. And also looking at when the construction would start. Once we get some of those answers, we'll absolutely have looking to have a public meeting, especially with the downtown businesses and the residents in the area, just so they know what to expect during the construction time. Obviously, this is an inconvenience, we understand that, but it's definitely a necessary inconvenience. The water line has to get repaired, the electrical underground there is failing. And when we did the streetscape in 2006 in downtown, the curb work was cut out for financial reasons. This project replaces all of that curb work through the downtown district. So much needed improvement, but it's also important to have this completed by the end of this year, because we'll be on schedule for ODOT to come through next year, and they're planning the $2.4 million complete resurfacing of Broadway, Corp Limit to Corp Limit. So we want to make sure that our stuff underground is done and addressed and buttoned up, and then they can come forward through afterwards and do that. So that's the project in a nutshell. Obviously, if it is awarded, we will then reach out to them, get some more questions, and obviously convey that to the public when possible.
Thank you. Stan, questions? Don?
Yes, I want to reiterate partly of what Mike has said, and that's for the residents. Any residents within several blocks of Broadway, for most of the summer it looks like, are going to have a very, I would just say, unrestful night's sleep, because they will be making noise as a construction project. So I would advise people buy earplugs. No, that's not the answer, but it's a necessary project that will interrupt at times at night, because let's face it, heavy machinery to dig the holes, put the pipes in, drop the plates, all of that will make noise. So the people off on Willis or anything connected to there are going to hear it. Everybody off of Washington or connected to it are going to hear it. So it will get done, and it will get done hopefully quickly, but there will be inconveniences for the residents sleeping at night. Thank you.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9960-22.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract to accept the Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, otherwise known as NOPEC's 2022 Energized Community Grant, and declaring an emergency.
Have a motion for suspension. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Saunders, second by Asbury. Mike?
Okay, good. Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance, as it states, supporting us to apply and receive grant funds through NOPEC. We've been successful every year in applying for this grant. It's brought in anywhere from 33 to, I think at the high was $39,000 annually. We've done these, you have to submit a project to them, and obviously energy project. So in the past, we've done all retrofits to municipal buildings for lighting. We've done improvements to this facility on an antiquated hot water system, made improvements there. It's helped fund part of the EV charging stations that are going in, one here and the one downtown that is already up and running. So we've used it for projects like that. NOPEC has expanded for other opportunities of where the funds can be used. So right now, we're discussing internally some projects that may fit. The one good thing with this program is this will allow us to accept the funds for the next couple of years. And if we identify a project that might be over that $30,000 threshold, if there's a project that may cost us $60,000, we have the ability to escrow this year's funds and hold till next year to where we're not out any money, and we can use the 2 years combined. So, our staff has been very successful. I think we've received this approaching 7 years in a row. It's been quite a bit. And I have no reason to doubt that we won't get it again. Right now, we're just looking to identify an appropriate project for it. And at that time, we will share it with council and the public.
Thank you. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9961-22.
Amending ordinance number 9866-21 to provide for continuing membership in the Ohio Municipal League Joint Self-Insurance Pool, providing for payment therefore, and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension. Asbury, second by Saunders. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Motion for third and final. Spinks, second by Janutus.
I'll take this then. In regards to this, what we have is an increase this year of about $20,000, and that had to do with the exposures that we've had this year with automobile claims, equipment claims. We've had a lot of uninsured motorist claims throughout the year with the pool. The pool's been very helpful with us and having say-so in our claims, but in this case also to increase our surplus in the program, and the contribution rate has to be increased too after about 35 years. So what we're doing now is increasing our cost to cover the pools and the reserves for claims that are out there. We've had our share in the last couple of years too, in regards to some of the things like on Northfield and Rockside, we had a controller box go out. These things cost around $60,000 when they're hit. Sometimes the insured people who hit these don't have the insurance, and it comes back to our pool and our insurance to pay for these claims. So those are just types of examples of what happens in this pool, and it's over many cities, not just ours. So I ask council to approve this evening for the insurance that we would continue on with our program.
Thank you. Question? Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
And resolution 2578-22.
A resolution approving participation in Region 3 of the governance structure under the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding. Declaring an emergency.
Can I have a motion for acceptance? Saunders, second by Asbury. Yeah.
Yeah, with this resolution,
It's only a yes or no.
No, that's not those things.
We do have to?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a yes or no. So that's for suspension. Call the roll.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
I was trying to make it quicker. Motion for third and final. By Spinks, second by Fluharty. And now you can take it.
yeah, in regards to the opiate, we call it the One Ohio Toolkit. Part of what we do is the first time we did this, I think earlier this year, we had an ordinance authorizing us to join the statewide pool for the resolutions of the lawsuits on the opiate program. There'll be $808 million distributed throughout the state, of which 70% of the cities out there participated in the first round of accepting funds from that. We were one of them. In doing so, the state created what they call regions now, whereby you have to, once again, pass a resolution, which we're doing here tonight, to allow the city to participate within the Region 3, which is the Cuyahoga County of the state, which will then allow us in the county to receive the funding from the group that was statewide. So tonight, council will be looking at that resolution. Then the second resolution is coming after this, will be in line with creating a fund. State audit requires a separate fund for these dollars to be received. By the way, the $800 million to be received statewide will be distributed over 18 years. So the amount of money trickling down to us, I'm not sure what that will entail. At this point, I don't expect a lot, but whatever comes our way, tonight we'll be authorizing that to be heading our direction or to be redirected to proper certified programs that might help and/or advertising and educating as such, as allowed by law. So I ask council to pass both resolutions tonight. I'm speaking on behalf.
On both resolutions, yes.
Thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Resolution number 2579-22.
To establish the One Ohio Opioid Settlement Special Revenue Fund and declaring an emergency. Had to do both of them.
And motion for suspension, Fluharty, second by Janutus. Call the roll.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Saunders. Frank has explained this, so call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes. Thank you.
Before we get into hearing of citizens, I just want to remind residents of Ward 4 that there's one more week. Monday is the deadline? Or Friday?
Friday, April 8th.
Friday, April 8th is the deadline to get in your letter of interest or your resume. Now we come to the part of the meeting for the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Jeff Duber, 134 Harriman. Any movement on fireworks, I'll keep asking the question.
Yeah, we got a draft of it that we went over this evening,
Okay.
to abandon them. I mean,
Possibly-
to prohibit them.
Possibly going to council next meeting?
If not next meeting, the one after.
Okay.
Certainly before 4th of July. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ebony Dickerson. I'm the branch manager of the Bedford Library, so I just wanted to come up and just let everyone know that we'll be starting our food distribution again. So we give away free produce the third Wednesday of every month over the summer, starting April, going through till September from 1:30 to 3:30. And staff would also appreciate if anybody wanted to volunteer, and you can do that on the cuyahoga-library.org website at the bottom. There's volunteer opportunities. So, thank you.
It's good to see the library back. These last 2 years, things have just gone awry. Good to always see faces. Thank you. Anyone else?
Barbara McDaniel, 186 Center Road. Who's responsible for cleaning up all the brush by the edge of St. Eugene's? I know the electric company really trimmed the trees back in there.
That,
That would be, go ahead. Go ahead.
that project that they did there, the cutting, the illuminating company was supposed to do that. They left
Yeah,
everything.
because it's collecting trash like nobody's
We
business.
notified them, and they're supposed to be sending a crew out to clean that up. But I will
Well,
double
it's been a
check.
long time already.
I will double check that.
Okay, and the other thing is, I walk a lot behind City Hall. I used to carry my loppers with me, I can't do that anymore. But there's one tree that goes toward the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
It's really blocking the path, it's very low, so. Yeah, I think that next time the guys are down that way, they can chop it.
We'll take a
Thank
look at it.
Thank you.
about the same issue. Should I come by myself or all three?
Do you want to stand together for support, or you all three going to speak? Or are you all three speaking, or just you?
We'll see.
I'm sorry?
Are all three speaking, or just you?
I have something prepared, and then if they
We'll let
need,
her start.
if they need to
Okay.
fill in.
I'm here to.
And then whoever speaks, we need a name, address.
Sure. So my name's Jennifer Cuthbertson. I live at 58 Union Street. Reason I'm here today is to request a guardrail to be installed next door at 62 Union Street. Shortly after I purchased my home in 2000, I was informed by my neighbor that a number of years previously, a speeding vehicle had come through his front yard, clipped off the front corner of his house, damage is still visible today, and proceeded to crash through and remove the back corner of what is now my house. The corner is 2 stories high. The previous owner of my home was in the bed on the upper floor, sleeping where he was thrown to the ground. Miraculously, he survived that night. As a result of this incident, some guardrails were installed on our street. My neighbor refused to have one installed at his address. How was that allowed? Well, Saturday, March 26, 2022, at 3 o'clock in the morning, another vehicle, this time an extremely drunk driver in a van, again came through my neighbor's front yard where a guardrail should be. It proceeded to crash its way between a telephone pole and its guide wires through boulders, rocks, trees, and my beautiful little landscaped front yard. By this time, I was sitting straight up in bed in shock. The bed that is 11 feet from the path of this van. I witnessed the last moments of the van's movement as it passed my bedroom window and came to a stop against my front porch, 7 feet from where he was sleeping on the sofa. We could have been killed, at the very least. Starting that night and continuing, I have terrible trouble sleeping. I wake in a panic. I have increased daily anxieties. I have flashbacks of the incident, sounds, smells of the van, taillights, fumes, dust, confusion, first responders, emergency vehicles, etc. We know that guardrails can be effective as we can cite a number of experiences of vehicles hitting them and driving off. I'm not sure how effective they would be against a semi-truck, which are apparently allowed to drive down this dangerous section of Union Street. Just last week, we were cleaning up the extensive broken glass when a semi-truck crossed the center line, headed towards us, but finally pulled back into his lane before anything terrible happened. Why are semi-trucks allowed on this dangerous curve? Please do something to reduce the chances of this or something much worse from happening again. Please install a guardrail at 62 Union Street. That's
Point is, it's happened before. It's happened, there's been about 6 cars went through there since then. About another 4 or 5 that have hit the guardrail, bounced off. The rails are currently broken. There's several of them that are broken in several pieces. You already said that this whole street should be protected by guardrails. Except the one that initiated the whole thing is the one that's missing. And that's the one that the car came through again the other day. Does everybody remember Charlie Vincent?
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
remember
that
that.
was Charlie,
That's
we went
my
right through
house.
Charlie Vincent's
I
house,
remember
and now
the
it happened
incident
again.
well, yeah.
And there's been about 6 cars that went through the yards, some of them unavoidable because of cutting through somebody's driveway into someone's yard and back out again. But
Pam lives a few houses from us.
Can we get your names for the record? I'm sorry.
Okay, and my name's Pamela Urquhart. I live at 70 Union Street, and I've lived there since 1994. We've done extensive construction because of the beautiful area. And I, for a fact, over the time that I've lived there, there have been 2 vehicles. They have not hit my home, but have come right into my front yard. Some have whipped through, spun around Frank's, and comes back out. And the gentleman that lived next to me has been hit as well over the years. So and we're thankful the guardrails are there. Do we like them?
it
No,
has
because
stuck at least about 5 or 6 of them from
every
it just
year,
broke.
and just weather too, because they'll bounce off, you'll hear them. Well, we pick up so many hubcaps,
yeah.
broken lights,
Pieces of
we sweep up
bumpers.
all the time, and we do pick up garbage all the time. We should see the garbage in the park. Everybody loves to drink and throw their beer cans, so maybe we should take pictures.
And about the semis, I remember years ago, there was signs there, illuminated signs, I thought, that
Flashing
said
dangerous.
dangerous curve, that when construction was done, they were removed, they just not put back up again. And I think Marilyn Zalata had said that trucks were banned from that street. But something happened to the sign, and now trucks are coming around. And that's a bad combination. The trucks, it's not just annoying. Downhill, a curve, and the trucks is just a bad combination.
They can't make the curve.
If it was one of the semis that hit a couple days ago,
We'd be done.
it might very well be that, yeah. I mean, it's kind of surprising to open up the window 4 o'clock in the morning and find a headlight shining in 4 feet away, 5 feet away.
Yeah, because we're very close to the road there. I mean, our houses are 100, mine's
100 years old.
Mine's 100,
Over 100 years old.
yeah.
You hit your house, right?
Pardon? Yeah.
You hit your house.
The porch,
or the
yeah.
porch.
My porch stopped it from going in.
Well, at first it hit a guardrail in front of
From
her
my
house.
house, it hit my guardrail,
It hit the guardrail, then
and
went,
then it bounced off of my guardrail, and then there was a guardrail at Frank's house, it would have bounced back to the road. And
It would
maybe
have,
hit the telephone pole, but
then it hit some cables, telephone pole, large rock, rock garden, a tree, and it finally came to rest at the porch.
My porch stopped it from coming into the house.
Did he have insurance?
No, of course not. Because, he was drunk, and I think he didn't have a license, didn't have insurance.
Over the limit of,
3 times,
over 3
3.214.
times.
He has a court date coming up in the next couple of days.
Yep, yep.
And even so, I mean, the weather will happen, and it's a dangerous curve, we know it, you know. So we're just asking, all of our homes have guardrails. And I know Frank didn't want it, but Frank's house sits behind, and all our houses sit very close to the road.
Nobody wants a guardrail, but it seems like it should be all or nothing.
We have to cut around it. I fear for my life when I have the weed whack, when they're coming around the curve. And we do thank you, because the road is beautiful right now. So-
Love our new.
Love the new road, thank you. It's been a couple bad years after.
Yeah, finally. I will say, I'll look at the signage, why that was removed. And getting something like that, obviously that's something that, you know, we can take a look at. It's hard for us to ban that truck traffic because it's a county road. You know, we're not authorized, we can't do that.
But we were told it used to be banned, no?
Yeah, well, the court's overturned that.
Yeah, I don't, if that was
Well, it was
prior to
probably
me, I
years
can't
ago.
speak for, I just know being a county road, we're not permitted to put a ban on something like that. If someone said that prior, I don't know. I don't know.
I used to work for the county engineer's office, and that is a county route, and you cannot prohibit trucks on any county route. So that's one of the reasons why those were all overturned on several court decisions. In fact, one of the court decisions came out of Walton Hills because they banned truck traffic on Alexander Road, and the court overturned that one too. Now, as far as your guardrail is concerned, in order for a guardrail to be protective, it has to have 3 sections and the attenuators. Unfortunately, you have driveways there. So you can put the guardrail up, but technically it becomes a hazard, and you can actually be negligent by putting a hazard up. So I'm speaking strictly engineering-wise, not my personal opinion. But that's part of where the guardrail issues come in too. The ideal situation over there would be to put concrete Jersey barriers up.
How would that be less hazardous than a guardrail?
Well, it doesn't have the same regulations based on the state manual uniform traffic control devices. However, concrete Jersey barriers have their own issue. So you're in a situation where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Now, as far as the sign is concerned, the sign was removed, and I know that because I worked for the county, because it doesn't meet the manual uniform traffic control devices. So you can only have signs that are in the manual put up on a county route or a state route. So that's why I said some of the regulations don't pertain to, how would you say, to a residential area to some degree, but
It's almost like some of them don't pertain to common sense.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that.
No, I know.
But, this is strictly from an engineering point. So, I've certainly been through that area, I understand your plight. So, we have to abide by certain regulations too, so I'm sure, like, as Mike said, we'll study the situation again.
We'll take a look at it. I think you recently sent an email.
I did, and I have something to give you.
Yeah, so I'll
And you.
be in contact once we get more information, see
Yeah.
if or what we can maybe do or offer, suggest something to county. We'll be in touch.
Okay.
I've got another suggestion about it. Currently, there's a couple of pylons that were just left there from work that was done, and they're covered with reflective tape, and it's very effective. It would be really inexpensive just to paint those guardrails with a similar reflective paint or tape. It could make a difference.
Yeah, the short version, we will look into it.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, it's an important thing.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Denise Singali, 27 Tudor Avenue. I just have a couple announcements. One, if it's allowed, the opening of Bedford Nutrition is finally opening up this Saturday. There's a lot going on this Saturday. They'll be opening April 9th, 11 to 6. They're located behind the Mazda dealership next to GameStop. So really excited about a place finally opening up in Ward 1. The other thing I have to ask is, Bedford Downtown Alliance is looking for more volunteers to help with the May 14th chocolate walk. We're looking for volunteers, whether it be 1 hour, 2 hours, or more that day. This is going to be an amazing event this year. That is it on that. Oh, and if anybody by chance happens to see smoke, Cuyahoga County Valley National Park will be conducting prescribed fires in 3 locations this month between April 1st and April 15th. The closest one that would be probably closer to us is going to be in Valley View. The rest of them, one is located on 303 and I-271, and the other one down by Boston Mills Road. But just in case anybody sees a large amount. I do have one request, Mike. Can I get a stop sign at the end of Tudor Avenue this year,
Stop sign.
please? That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Speaking of signs, somebody told me the sign at Green Cross and Broadway is missing. Anyone else?
I want to thank the policemen and
Seeing
the fire
none?
chief. I want to thank them.
Yes, thank you for the
Tell them thank you.
police and fire, emergency, first responders.
You've had a quite exciting week.
Yeah.
Couple incidents on our street, so we appreciate first responders.
I remember the Charlie Vincent.
That was my house, that's my house.
I have a motion for adjournment. Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Saunders,
Yes.
Cochee,
Yes.
Spinks,
Yes.
Janutus,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.